and welcome back to part 5 of A Hat in Time. This time we're going to hunt down this extra time rift that's right here in Mafia Town, and then dig into chapter 2, doing the first proper level of each side of chapter 2. But first we've got the Bazaar, or the Bazaar, or however you want to choose to fucking pronounce it. This time rift's quite nice. This one is beautiful to see speedrun. I've seen people speedrun this one, and it's terrifying how good they just get everything. Especially because if you time your dive, there is, like I said, there's a momentum. So if you dive down this, you slide with it, and you pick up a lot of speed with it. And so people will perfectly time going over the top almost as it spins around. I don't know if I can make that jump. I probably could, but I don't want to risk it. But yeah, sorry I didn't upload for a few more days. Work stepped in, so I was like, well, I'd rather just get the work done, because obviously I have a job. This isn't my career, and it probably never will be. It's not my cup of tea. I just do it for sport. But that resulted in me just having to go to work, so I didn't end up uploading, because by the time I got home it was too late in the day for me to want to. I was thinking about it uploading yesterday and everything together, but yeah, I'll take that. That's cool. Oh, it's a sprint hat. Oh, I kind of prefer the other one though. Like, that's a good one, don't get me wrong, but I kind of prefer the hood. I think that's just more of my personal sense of style. I prefer the little hood. Because there's not enough games that you have a hood up. God damn it. I mean, that's cool and all, but nah. Where's my hood? There. Oh. There it is. Right. As I clear my throat, because for some reason it's being extra fighting with me today. Not sure why. Oh yeah, we got that from last part. We got Murder of the Owl Express and Picture Perfect to do. So we're going to start with Murder on the Owl Express. This one's a long one, so sit down for it, because this is a longer act. You can make it quite short if you know where to go and what to do, but I will be taking it quite methodically and doing it the way is intended. So I'll be talking to people and seeing what there is.
Welcome back, lassie. I haven't written the script for my next movie yet, so we're not recording.
He says that for every mission you do with him. It's deceit. He is deceiving you. Do not fall for it. These crows, who you need to talk to, each one of them will ask you a different question that can affect later on in this mission, but it's only minorly, just what they say. He says he's an express owl, but he's a crow. What's your uncle's sister's maiden name? Let me think about this one. Fuck it. I'm not going to put too much into this. I see.
I see. This is the kind of uncle's sister's maiden name I would expect from a
yeah, totally. Sometimes I completely take the mick and have a lot of fun with this, but I'll keep this somewhat friendly, so I won't be too over the top.
I care about security a whole lot.
Security. Oh, he's gonna say
Information to strangers. It could be a security risk. I can help your daily life become more secure.
favorite combination of letters and numbers. Well, that's an easy one. People who know me personally, my cursed number is 47. I see it fucking everywhere. It has existed in my life for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure a handful of my videos have ended with 47 seconds or are 47 minutes long. Just because it is my cursed number. It is always there.
Speaking of, at which stop did you get on the train?
Oh, and he's an actual express owl.
Fell from the sky.
This one we have to answer as well, that's why he's holding the door. Not all of these you have to talk to and answer, just some.
Also know that pets can have pets. It is true.
Pets can have pets? Well, alright.
It is a sacrifice we must make in the name of hooting.
Yeah, sure, Mr. Not Express Owl.
What do you think the name of your
Pet's pet name? I don't fucking know. I only have a cat, so he'd probably call his pet Meow. I have 3 cats, so I doubt they'd be too original with their names.
Have you noticed all these crows around the place?
See, even he calls them out. He knows they're crows. They're not express owls.
I don't know what to answer.
This one I don't get the point of. I don't know how it applies to anything or any matter. You just got. It says he asks you to solve this scientific issue, and it's DC before I lose.
Scientific formula for me? What does it say?
But I don't know what it's supposed to mean in the grand scheme of anything. Like, it doesn't have anything with it as a cop drives past. I didn't do anything, I swear.
Thank you, fellow
But as that cop goes away, because the siren was so loud, hopefully he didn't pick it up on the mic too much. He only does it to make this joke of that you signed the terms and conditions on the back, which you can't even read because there's so many of them. But I don't know if it actually has a purpose in mission, because all the rest of them they are referenced if you know where to go and where to listen to. So I probably haven't just found new references, but still. What's your superhero name?
Identification requirements.
The gingerbread man. I can't fit man, but it'll just be the gingerbread man.
Great. I'll just write your answer down here.
There's another time rift that'll be right here when we unlock it later on. So remember this little spot. Oh, this one. This is the one where I usually end up having a bit of fun, but I'll keep it tame for for any younger viewers. I know I swear, so that doesn't really that kind of defeats the point. But I'll keep this tame. I won't go over the top. It's asking what body part are you most ashamed of. The booty, obviously.
Owl. You shouldn't be ashamed of your
Booty.
But you'd better
Get your booty checked out by a doctor. I've read it outside. It could be a sign of bird flu.
Could be a sign of bird flu.
You can put literally anything in it, but it's asking for body parts, so it gets. You can have a lot of fun with that real quick. This is a conductor token. In the conductor missions, there are conductor tokens, and in the DJ Groove missions, there are DJ tokens. Collecting them will earn you bonus points for the end of this, and so I might as well go into it whilst we're still wandering around. The way this chapter works is that each mission you do for each side will earn you points on that side. Once you do every mission on both sides, it will rally up how many points you've got over on each side, and whatever side has the most points will be declared the winner for the final mission.
Please don't step on it.
I already know who I'm going to make sure I let win, because it kind of doesn't make so much sense with you if you let one side win it against the other. Personally, but we'll get to that when we actually get to that final level. But now the crime-solving side can actually begin because we wear another really cool costume. Shame we can't keep the cosmetic hats. Because a detective hat, and there's another hat we have in this chapter that I really like as well. But they're purely cosmetic, so you don't get to keep them. Well, I say they're cosmetic, there's a lot of cosmetic items, but I mean as in it's cosmetic for this chapter alone. As soon as you leave this chapter, the hat's gone, you don't get it again. But now we need to head back to the front where we were. And where a murder has taken place.
Murder on my Owl Express? I can't believe someone would murder one of the Express Owls. And I can't believe even more that it's your uncle's sister. What do you have to see for yourself? Ooh, you're giving me the quiet treatment, eh? That's what a murderer would do.
I decided to at least shut up until the amazing tongue roll by our conductor there. Seriously, that's legendary, that little tongue roll there. Look, that each bit is about a second long, every like roll of it. That's just amazing. Anyway, these crows, or the core agents, are going to be heading out to try and collect evidence. And by collect evidence, they're going to do absolutely fucking nothing. So we're going to sneak out and actually try and find actual suspects. What actually is quite cool about it is that no matter who you eventually decide as a suspect, you will be right. So you can have fun with it and choose whoever you want, and the plot will work itself around to make it work for you. You are on a... Well, no, you're not. I was going to say, you are technically on a time limit, but the time limit works very weirdly, so you're technically not. And what I mean by this is that you're on a scripted time limit, as in when you pass a select doors, a select way, time will advance. So it will seem like time is advancing constantly, but it's only when you pass through doors. So you have as much time as you want in a room to move on. But once you go through a certain door, like this one, and we went through it forwards, it advanced time. When we go back through it backwards, and if we were to go through it again, it wouldn't advance time. It's only when you pass through certain doors. So you can, without having to rush, get all the pieces of evidence and all the collectibles. So there is a relic, I believe, up here. Yeah, one of the 3 cows we need for that, for the UFO relic. Also, blatant Metal Gear Solid reference right there. Good old MGS1. The core agents are kind of blind, so use it to your advantage and nab the key. Down here is our first piece, and we can suspect the Conductor now if we want to, as a possible killer. Each one has a different funny scene to wrap it round if you suspect, but I know what one's my favourite and what one I'll be going with, because I know where all of them are and the route to do it. So we backtracked all these doors and it hasn't advanced time at all, because we haven't gone through the right door the right way for it to continue. And it's better to get the key I got first instead of the other one, because it's a little bit of a time saver just to get this key. So when we advance the door through this way, it advances time, but... Oh shit, didn't mean to do that. We don't have to worry about that one because that's not a trigger door, so we don't have to worry about time advancing too early and us missing out now. But we need to head up through here, because there's another key. If you're speedrunning, you can sprint straight over that core that moved to the corner's head, because he spawns in the same point every time you go through it. I'm not going to, because I'm going to show how you do it properly, but you just to know if you're speedrunning that core and you're immediately right when you go into it, just sprint and jump straight over his head and you'll be quick enough to get around and out of his sight. And now we can go through here. Oh, there's another phone.
So you think you can just sneak around the train like this?
Yes.
The detective act. You'll never catch the real murderer. You can't point your finger at someone without clues.
Fun fact, he's lying. If you get absolutely no clues yet trigger all the time stops, you'll still be able to suspect the Conductor anyway. Like, even though the first one you collect is the Conductor, if you have no one, it will let you just choose the Conductor anyway. Which is hilarious. So he's actually lying there. It's just you can't suspect anyone without clues. Yeah, you can. And now you can suspect Wacky, if you want to, or whoever you decide to bloody name them. Here's another time skip. Oh fuck! Well, I fucked it up, but you can jump over his head as well if you're good. But the time it only kicks us back here, so if anything, we save time. Right. Up here. And there's a yarn ball in the corner that I want to get. Of course I fuck it up. Hang on. Do you know what that was? That wasn't me forgetting to press a double jump. That was me forgetting that when you're sprinting, there isn't a double jump. It's only a long jump she can do. So it's good for covering distance, but you have to dive like that if you want a little extra bounce. I'm not going to press the button to make the launch pad go on because we won't be returning to that room. But opening this will lower the core agent blocking the door so we can get to the second half of the train. Because yes, it's all still on the train as much as the next room you're in will make you think otherwise. And also advancing here advances time again. Look, this is not a train cabin. This is a secret headquarters. I nearly got spotted there. I've never seen that phone go off, so... I assume it goes off if you decide to leave. If you decide not to do this room, like you answer the phone but then stop. It says try and make you run out of time, but like I said, there isn't a time limit. It's a door limit. A select door limit, because only some doors count towards it. But anyway, our pet's pet, which apparently my pet cat has a pet dog called Meow. So, yeah. Anyway, if you decide to answer this phone then leave, that's what I think might cause the other phone off. But I don't know that for certain because I've never seen the phone ring. But that's just what I suspect it will be. And it'll probably be him being bollocking you for saying, oh, so you're just going to leave your pet there. But it's worth saving your quote-unquote pet's pet. Because you'll get another detective clue. And this platforming section is not too hard anyway. Well, I say it's easy. It's a piece of piss. If you played platformers before, not much of the platforming challenge here will get you. I mean that for the whole game. There's not much in the platforming that will get you at all. Also, the dog has the same voice as the murderer on the phone. And he'll give you a detective clue. Now the express hours available suspects. We need to go over here because there's a key for us. If you're fast enough, you can jump and move out of the way, but I'll wait. And you can do a diagonal jump here to get out of the way of that one. If you're here, there will be the thing that they will be talking about is they'll essentially be insulting whatever you said is your embarrassed body part. As we return back through the door, it advances time again. So, listen, for me it was the booty. Like if I'd hung around, you would have been able to see it better. But they'd be saying about, oh, and he's got such a terrible booty and things like that. I know we could suspect the victim. To be fair, that's a funny one. If you suspect the victim, he goes, wait a bit, but I'm dead. I mean, But we won't be going for that one. My favourite one is the last one, the only person we can suspect that we're missing. That's the one I'll be using because it's just funny as fuck. Also, there's a casual sauna here. There we go. And there's that time stop for returning back through the door. And the last one is after we collect the last detective blueprint. Well, I think, why do I keep saying blueprint or going to say blueprint? It's a clue. Go through this door with your key, hit the button. It'll make a lift come up so you can get to that locked door. You can probably get up there without it, like the way the platforming works in this game, but that's the way you're supposed to do it. But our last one, you go in here, it doesn't activate the timer for it, but we can get our last clue, so we can suspect ourselves. And it's when you go back through the door, it activates the last timer. So we'll put on our crime solving hat so it fits.
So, who done it?
They don't know.
We don't know.
Because they did nothing except sit on their chairs and laugh.
Find any conclusive evidence. We have no idea who murdered this owl.
What? So
Oh, the
we've got
conductor's
people
done
to
nothing.
hold the case. Who's
The conductor's
murderer?
pissed. The calls have done
Which
nothing to
one
help
of
this.
you did it?
So now I get to decide. And I'm going to shut up and let this play out because I found it hilarious personally. Protect and serve at all costs. We got everywhere and we saw nothing. What are you looking at me for, Peckneck? I had to do it or the voices wouldn't stop. You can't blame me. I'm a dead. I mean, so I'm going to shut up for this.
You did it. Why, yes. It all makes sense. You saw the Express Owl all by himself, a lonely victim in your master scheme. With a hatred for society and its rapidly increasing progress of transportation, you strike down the first passenger you saw. His body laid like a mannequin with blood spilling everywhere and a smell. It woke your inner demons. Then you tore off his limbs and ate them one by one like an animal lusting for blood. That's how it happened, wasn't it? You murdered that owl in cold blood.
Actually, I'm fine. She just stuck this fake rubber knife on me and told me to play dead.
Oh. But still, you've gone too far this time, Detective. You're going to the doghouse.
It's just the fact that it's just slowly zooming in on her with such an innocent smile as he explains how we were brutal and terrifying monsters destroying this poor soul. But and see that is what I mean. He was just set up for his new movie. He had it all planned all along. He always lies.
Murder on the Owl Express. Oh, you think DJ Peckneck will make a movie that's even remotely as good?
Well, I mean, DJ Groove's ones. When we get to it, we'll get to them. But they're not as dramatic as the Conductors. The Conductors are definitely more dramatic than DJ Grooves. DJ Grooves are much more fun things that they'd be in films. And so once you reach the end, you get this little screen where it will rally up your points. Oh, it'll say starring. And it says the reviews are in. It counts how many ponds you got, how many tokens you found, and how much of the objective you managed to complete. Giving us a nice 516 points to start with. Putting the Conductor in the lead, but that's because, obviously, we've only done that side. So next will be DJ Grooves, and we'll do his first mission, then call it a part. DJ Grooves' missions are actually quite nice. I enjoy them a lot, just because they're a lot more simpler and laid back. Whilst the Conductor, it's always a race against something, whether it's the time of the hour clock or we'll see when it gets to second mission, a literal race against time. Whilst these ones are a lot more about just having fun and enjoying the area. And both his missions take place in this exact same colourful city block area. Your first mission is to gain popularity. Because DJ will want us to be a right diva, as he'll explain.
We need to transform you into the biggest movie star the bird world has ever seen.
And he specifies a diva. I don't know about you, but I've always growing up like seeing little things like that, or whatever my older sister put on. When I think diva, I think like prom queen bitch. You know the one I mean? The one that's like really snarky, really arsey, but it's the most, it's supposed to be the most beautiful one of them all. That's what I think when I think diva, just because growing up with like Disney Channel, when my sister was watching that, and the amount of people like that they would refer to as a diva. But in saying that, I'm sure my sister, if she was here, would remind me of how many times I used to make her suffer through me watching SpongeBob growing up. When I say that, SpongeBob's a fine good show. The newer seasons aren't as good as they used to be, but the older seasons are still top notch and they're still funny to this day. And hopefully one day I'll be able to Let's Play Battle for Bikini Bottom, because that's one of my like main games I've always wanted to Let's Play. Problem is, as you're probably aware, I only record using the PS4 software because I just don't have the money to ship out to get a capture card and get it all sorted myself. So this is just what we're stuck with. So unless Sony actually listen to what the fans want, which is coming more and more unbelievable as whether that will happen, PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility for this is unlikely to happen. But if it does, then I can assure you, the moment it does, I'll be straight on SpongeBob Battle for the Bikini Bottom Let's Play. Because that's all I've always wanted to play that game 100% it. I've 100% it so many goddamn times, and the whole entire game from the back of my hand, I love it to death. It's one of my all-time favourites. And I'd love to be able to play it for you guys. Anyway, getting back on track. So we have to become a diva, so we have to gain popularity. So you're running around, either finding people with cameras, or preferably finding tokens that DJ has, so the DJ will come in and help out, and he will help us. Afraid to stay out of her comfort zone. And he advertises you quite nice as well. And so it backs it up. If you spend too much time not building it up, it will slowly start to tick down. But I don't really think you can fail this, to be honest. If you get that. The pictures get nicer and nicer as you go. Oh, there's this as well. It's a UFO tries to slam us down, sort of like the sleeping heads from the first world. Let's get this. Hey, we got it. DJ doesn't come to help us out with that one. That one's just for the extra points. Let's get this one. And they drop ponds as well, so you're naturally going to end up rack up a lot of points from the ponds as well. DJ Grooves is who you're going to see me pushing to try and make win over the Conductor. Like the Conductor, I'll still do as much as I can, but I'll be doing just that little bit extra for DJ, because the way they justify why DJ wins at the end and things like that just makes more sense to me personally. And I don't need any of those badges, so I'm not going to bother. The middle badge you saw there was One Hit Hero, where it puts you to 1 life point only. Which is great for the extra challenge, especially the boss fights. Because I said, all the boss fights aren't too bad and aren't too hard, but you're going to get hit at least once, which is what makes One Hit Hero so much more fun, because suddenly they are suddenly really hard fights. Right, this one's funny. You have to guess the number. And it's because it says you have to guess what card they're holding, and it's just like you can see it. I'd let him finish his line. There we go. Dun dun dun. We guessed it. See, we're amazing. We have good intuition, because that was definitely what it was, and not us seeing over it. Look how much more popularity that got us. There's another one on the street, but I don't think I'll need to get it, where he says, I'm going to ask you to say a key word, just whatever you do, don't say peck, because that's like a swear word in bird culture. And that's the funny one, because then if you then go out of your way to say peck, he goes, oh, this girl's got attitude, oh, she doesn't care for anyone, and as soon as the camera turns off, he goes, don't you ever say that again. But we've got enough, so we don't need to. If I spot it as we go along, I'll quickly do it, but I'm not too fast if I'm honest. But it is quite funny. Just going out of your way to say peck. Oh. That was my spatial awareness playing up. I thought it was closer than it was. No, I was a little off. Get this picture while we're at it. I wonder who voices the little penguins going, thank you. Because it sounds familiar. It sounds generic, but it sounds familiar. It sounds like a generic NPC voice. Also, I don't know why these cars have giant spikes on the front, but whatever. Let's go get a timepiece. That puts us up to 15. Healthy number. Right, let's see how many points we got for this. 304 and 400. So 704 points. That puts DJ back in the lead. By a good 200 points fair as well. But we've got enough to access all 4 worlds now, which is neat. We're not going to go into the 4th world. The only thing we need from the 4th world is to do is a new hat to do the final mission in Mafia Town. But I'd rather leave that until last, because the 4th world I don't enjoy too much. Like I said, I like the concept, I like what they were going for. It just overstays its welcome and it's too big. But there's a time rift for us to go hunt down, so let's go get that. If you remember where I said during the merger on the Owl Express, it's right here, just you start heading towards. This one's not too bad. I think this one's the one with all the buttons. Yes, yeah, it is. There's a bunch of buttons scattered about them. When you press them, will open up the rest of the path, so you can work forward, like so. But as for what's going on for the next part, when I eventually get round to it, the next part won't be continuing Chapter 2, because the second mission for the Conductor requires us to have an ability that we can only get in Chapter 3. So I'd rather crack on and do more of Chapter 3 and then return to this mission, return to this later on once we've done more of Chapter 3. And come back here, you dick. Thank you. The fact that they jump away after they throw them at you is what makes them so annoying. This bit's not too bad, just be careful with your timing. There we go. Slide down here. Right, there's 4 buttons, one on each spinning block, so you gotta wait around. There we go. That's 2, 3, 4, and let's get out of here. I'm curious to know if you could make that jump. I doubt you could, but I'd be curious to know if there was a way that you could make that jump without having to press all the buttons. Like a little bit of speed running. This bit is not too bad. Wait. Alright, I jumped on that too soon, but thankfully I recovered. You just gotta jump on the gear and let it take you up. It's a lot easier to tell than the first proper boss, the way telling you're trying to climb up that. And when we hit this, all this will move. And it phases us out of it because it spawned into us because of how much it had spun round, allowing us to climb up and get our timepiece. And I think that'll be the last one I'll get, because we're on 16. We're cracking through like nobody's business. But I'm going to call that apart after we see what we get from the loot. Is it going to be terrible? Oh no, that looks bad. That's better. But alright, Christmas hat. For the ice hat. Makes sense. Anyway, next time on A Hat in Time, we're going to head back into Chapter 3 and do a few more contracts for the Snatcher. But until then, you guys take care now. And once again, sorry for the delay. But work.